Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are looking at the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Ultra, the Final Challengers Ken figure. I am not a video game guy. I do not know that much about Street Fighter. I do remember vividly playing Street Fighter as a kid, but really only played whatever version I think my neighbors had. I think it was probably Street Fighter 2, maybe Street Fighter 2 Alpha or something like that. Like, I don't even really remember the names. But to the best of my knowledge, and as far as I can sort of surmise, because it's right here on the front, these figures are based on the Street Fighter 2 Ultra, the Final Challengers version, which I believe to be sort of an updated version of Street Fighter 2. So it's all the characters that I know and love from my childhood, just done a little bit better, a little bit cleaner, a little bit crisper. So we're going to take a look at this figure, but first let's take a look at the packaging. So the overall packaging is really, really cool. It's almost like it's in like a video game console, which I find to be sort of a really nice touch. You get, the buttons and the controllers down there, Ken on the front. You get the sort of power bars for characters there as well. In the back, in the packaging, there's also an insert that reflects, each character's level, I guess. I don't know what do you call them? Location, level, whatever. And then on the side, like a video game console would, you get sort of art with call outs to other characters and stuff like that. Now these do have like character bios, but it's not even really a bio. It's just where the character is from and what style of martial arts they use, which I think is pretty cool, and it's really, in my opinion, kind of all you need. On the back, of course, you get a nice big shot of Ken and a nice breakdown of what to expect in the line. So we got so far we've got Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, and Fei Long. Dhalsim and Bison, I think, are starting to show up for people as well. Evil Ryu was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Have they done the other Ken? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm sort of just falling down this rabbit hole, so I feel like I'm a little bit behind in the news. But a bunch of characters to come, some that I'm very much looking forward to. I am late to the party because I'll be honest, I was hoping that I didn't get sort of pulled into these, but I found them locally and the price was right, so I had to pick them up, obviously. Because everything that I've heard is that these are absolutely amazing figures. So on that note, let's get this guy out of the box. All right, so here we have Ken out of the box, looking pretty good. The attention to detail on these is really, really good. You've got texture on the gi. You've got a nice amount of paint on the skin to make it not just look sort of one shade of plastic. The gi itself, the legs are sort of a hard plastic, but the gi it's a really nice, soft, pliable plastic that almost feels like a rubber. His hair is really soft as well, which I was a little bit surprised by, so that the hair will get out of the way for posing and stuff like that, and not get in the way of the articulation. For the head, well, it's a decent amount of articulation in the neck. It's not as good because of the hair, but it is, at least they're trying, right? But otherwise, the articulation is pretty good. You got the butterfly joints, you got double jointed knees, you got double jointed elbows. I will say he's a little bit stiff out of the box. He's not as sort of buttery smooth as some figures are. But all in all, the posability on these is very, very good. The articulation is good. The range of motion is good. You get a double jointed knee that goes pretty far back. You've also got a swivel sort of at the ankle, as well as a really, really good ball joint with the ankle rocker. So tons of range of motion. You can get them in just about any, martial arts pose that you're going to want to. And I think with these figures, that's really what's important. So the articulation on these is exactly on point for what they need to be. It's nothing, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's not like they've invented some new articulation scheme that's absolutely going to change the world. But considering this is effectively sort of the tail end of the first wave, we've had Ryu, Chun-Li, Fei Long, and now Ken. Jada's doing a pretty darn good job with their articulation and with the finish on these figures. And then to top that off, they come with some cool accessories. So let's take a look at the accessories. All right, so starting off, we get an alternate head. So the head that comes on Ken is just sort of a smirking head. But the alternate head that we get is a little bit angrier, gritting teeth. Again, it has the soft hair. So that's kind of interesting, kind of cool. There is sort of a little bit of like an orange paint that does add some highlights and things like that. It's not my favorite head. I think, I gotta say Ken is one of my least favorite figures in Street Fighter. But if you're gonna get a few, you may as well get them all. So that's why I got them. We get some alternate hands as well, to go with the fists that come on the figure. And, just to show, I don't know if it's going to show up, but there is some good texture on the back of that hand. The pads are meant to look, I think, a little bit leathery, and they definitely do. Again, just the attention to detail is phenomenal. Then we get this. Now, I'm trying to figure out exactly how this works. Because there's hands inside there. And I'm thinking maybe it comes apart, but maybe it's just an effect. I'm not quite sure. It kind of looks a little bit odd that way. Do you take his hands off to do the effect? I'm not sure. I'll have to sort of look that up. But you get this really, really cool blast effect, energy burst. And this actually comes with sort of a flight stand. So you get a base, you get the this sort of flight stand thing, and then this will plug on here so that you can get a really cool effect of him sort of shooting it, and it's not going to fall over or make the character imbalanced. So yeah, just really, really cool. And again, attention to detail, right? Like to give you the stand, I think is something that we don't see very often. So I think it's, whoever's sort of behind the wheel, so to speak, on the Street Fighter stuff is doing a fantastic job. All right, I am going to get him a little bit posed up and maybe put some alternate pieces on there and give my final thoughts. All right, so here is Ken posed up. I put the alternate hands, put the alternate head on, and he's looking really, really good. He's looking ready to fight. These figures are fun, and I think that they're not just fun if you're a Street Fighter fan, but I think they're kind of fun if you just like cool figures. Like there is definitely a rule of cool thing going on here, where design wise, I think Capcom had something right with a lot of these characters, and we haven't even gotten the really fun characters. We haven't gotten Blanca, basically. I'm most excited about Blanca, but I'm excited about Dhalsim, E Honda, Vega, Bison. On and on. Guile will be cool. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting more of these. Now I'm thinking I need to figure out how to get the backgrounds so that I can pose them up and just sort of in the frames of the backgrounds that they have in the game. But in the meantime, I would strongly recommend these figures. They're a ton of fun. I have, in fact, opened one other. I opened Fei Long as well, so there you kind of can see, a couple of them next to each other. They can sort of get their fight on. But yeah, these are, to the best of my knowledge, still available from Mike at eCollectibles. So go and hit up ecollectibles.ca and get your order in for these. Very, very good figures. Tons of fun. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And hit that bell icon if you don't want to miss notifications for future videos. Till next time, bye-bye.